Wow. Okay, just wow. Welcome back. We are back with Deathgate, and last time we read a whole textbook's worth. But it was amazing. I so far really like this. This is cool. I let's play around with what we got. We took a glow lamp. Look at glow lamp. Let's look at it. The spherical crystal globe glows with an inner magical light. It's an ancient Sartan artifact. Zar doesn't seem to mind using it though. And put the glow lamp on Zar's room. Zar's room is a big place. Where exactly do you intend to put the glow lamp? What? So I noticed that it turns gray. That doesn't seem to be a suitable place to put the glow lamp on the history book. Funny. Okay. Can I look at the marker? The stone marker has the naming rune of Arianis, World of Air, etched upon it. Okay. Let's try this. Use magic on Zar. Spell heat. Yes.
I appreciate that you wish to practice your magic
Oh,
or
I need
display
to...
your mastery of it to me, but I do not wish to be your target. Is that clear?
Yes. Sorry. Apparently I did restart the game since then, so it looks like I have to turn off voice every time. Okay, can I try it on anything else? I just want to see what spell heat. So it's interesting, if I'm not mistaken. No, okay. What does identify look like? I bet there's, based on this UI, I bet there's a way to combine spells. Yeah, okay. Cast this. Ah, so there are hidden spells. I see. Okay. Okay, let's look around. This gate is the final portal of the labyrinth. Just beyond is the hell you called home for the rest of your life. Open. You remember Zar opening the gate and returning to help the others escape the clutches of the labyrinth. You were one of the patrons whom he helped. But you can't bring yourself to open the gate. You don't want to give the labyrinth another chance to take your life. Okay. Go anyway. So here's Zar. What is over here? Here's the boat. Here's the gate. Okay. Your ship is docked a short walk from both the Nexus City and the gate to the labyrinth. This is Nexus City? Can I go to Nexus City? Oh, okay. Your ship. This is the only object on screen? This is the only object on screen. Wait, path? I saw path. Where's path? Path. Follow the path. Okay, I see. Alright. Your ship. Enter my ship. You carefully place the glow lamp on the mount by the door. With the new light, you look around your ship carefully, identifying the navigational tools provided. In the center, you see the steering stone. It has the power to guide your dragon ship through the Death Gate into the other realms, as long as that realm is represented by its naming rune on the surface of the stone. To the front of the ship, you see the steering wheel. Once you've traveled to a new realm, this allows you to navigate your vessel to places within it. Okay. That's the steering stone. That's a glow lamp. It took the glow lamp from me. Can I take the glow lamp back? Now that the glow lamp is in place, you can't lift it free. It is magically secure, perhaps to protect it from falling and breaking while the ship's in motion. Okay. Look at your ship. You stand on the cramped bridge of your one-man dragon ship in the front of the navigational wheel and steering stone. Okay. Take the steering stone. You haven't placed the naming rune of Arianis on the steering stone? Use steering wheel. Okay. Alright. Let's cast a spell. The spell of rune transfer. Oh, okay, so we click on this and click on this. And we cast rune transfer. And we transfer the marker onto the steering stone. Cool animation. You transfer the marker onto the steering stone, 10 points. And that's the one for Nexus right there. Use steering stone. You call on the power of the steering stone to take you through the Death Gate into Ariana's world of air. Wow! What an animation! They really broke the budget on the background, didn't they? This game, I think it's 1994. That's when I think this game came out. And it looks great for 1994, to be honest. Your ship arrives in the midst of a terrible storm. Quickly, you look around for a place to land to ride out the weather, but all you see is space. There's no ground anywhere. Suddenly, through the lightning, rain, and wind, you make out a floating island as big as a continent. You pilot the ship towards it and land on bare rock just outside a cave. That was so cool. I love that. Okay. This is Arianas. What do I do? Steering wheel? How do I leave? Oh, right here. You stand on a barren rock under a raging storm. A cave opens into a mountain wall and a ramp rises into your ship. Alright, well, we got a cave. We got some poles! Look at the poles. 3 tall metal poles stick out from the ground. 2 have strange glowing metal devices on top of them. The third is bare. Zinger! Look at the zingers. 2 glowing metal objects sit atop tall poles. Periodically, the storm lashes them out and sends bolts of lightning against them. Instead of doing any damage, they simply cause the objects to glow brighter. Can I take one? They're out of reach. Can I take the pole? Huh. Okay, none of my spells have any significant effect on the poles. Alright, let's go then. Into the tunnel. Hello! This small cavern contains a control panel, several pieces of furniture, and a female dwarf. The dwarf looks up at you in surprise. Oh my god! You're huge! But you're not glowing! Are you a god? A god? Of sorts, perhaps. Why would I be glowing? All gods glow! At least everyone I've seen glows! How can you be a god if you're not glowing? You've seen gods around? Do they call themselves Sartan by chance? Oh no, they just call themselves gods. Maybe you're thinking about some other gods, she adds helpfully. Well, if you were a god, you'd know that we don't necessarily glow all the time. And he's trying to teach her about how gods behave. The dwarf looks somewhat skeptical. The gods claim that they are gods because they glow. Anyone who doesn't glow can claim to be a god. But you're big, but I don't think you're a god. How many gods have you seen? This is the weirdest flexing conversation. You're not a god because you don't glow. Well, you know, just for your information, glowing does not make you a god. And yeah, but when people claim to be gods, it's because they glow. It's just like weird back and forth. How many gods have you seen? She holds up 3 fingers. About this many! I think there are more, but I don't get to see them. Ah, you've caught me. I am not one of those 3. I am just a traveler. A traveler? Ooh, nice to meet you. I'm Jari. She looks you up and down. You're awfully big not to be a god, but you don't act like one. They're always yelling and commanding and taking things. Gods are bringing nice. I like what they did to my electric zinger panel. Look what they did to my electric zinger panel. What did they do? They tore it apart, that's what. They tromped in here on one of their studies, ripped out one of the control switches, and removed a zinger from the top of its pole outside. Do they think that we have spares? They didn't even tell me why they needed it, either. Just because someone's a god doesn't mean they have to be impolite, you know? You don't like these gods very much, do you? What's not to like? They're rude, embarrassed, and self-centered. I heard that gods were supposed to be generous and helpful. Just because you're born casting lights, that gives you the right to boss everyone around. I'm like accidentally slipping towards Carl Sagan again, and I'm trying to avoid it. What's not to like? What's not to like? What's not to like? I'll keep trying. Electric zinger? What's that? The zingers are set up on the poles outside the cave. When the lightning hits them, they suck up the electricity. I think the Kixie Winsy likes electricity or something. After the zingers have sucked up all they can hold, I pull these levers, then show them starts. Show? What show? The zingers, of course! They go crazy! They start spinning around, shooting sparks everywhere. Most of the electricity gets sucked into the Kixie Winsy. Through the poles. Then my meters go back down and I wait all over again. Okay, I broke it. The Kixie Winsy? What's that? Is that a Wimser's generator? Why, it's the machine! How can you not know about the Kixie Winsy? It's everywhere. It digs our homes out from the earth. It makes water for us to drink and does, well, other things too. It's our responsibility to care for it so it can care for us as well. We are a community with the Kixie Winsy. She utters her final remark proudly. You mean that's all you do? Sit here and pull levers? She pouts. It's not that easy. You have to know the very best time to pull the levers. My family has been pulling these levers for years, and I'm the best lever puller there's been in a long time. This is all very interesting, but can you tell me more about these gods? Well, they only showed up about 100 years ago. They dropped from the air in a flying ship. We were curious, of course, but they were prepared to greet us them as friends. But a glowing figure emerged and declared itself our god. At least one of many. None of us glow, and no one had ever been claimed to be a god before, so we believe it. And they moved in, and they had taken control. Personally, I like life, but without all this dying intervention. When it arrived, your glowing figure claimed to be a god, and you bought it? Why would somebody lie about that? I wouldn't claim to be a god if I wasn't. Besides, he glowed. The way they explain it, you can't glow if you're not a god. If the figure didn't glow, would you have believed it? Probably not. If they looked like you, I would have just thought they were big. But not gods. A few extra feet of height doesn't make you divine. That's what my gym teacher used to teach me. How exactly have these gods taken control? They moved into the Kixie Winsy control room and kicked everyone else out. They're always doing tests and things to it. I don't like them tinkering with the Kixie Winsy, as if they didn't know how to work it. I mean, if you're a god, and you're supposed to know all the little technical stuff. Anyway, they've also kept us away from the north exit. That's where their ship is. They've always got a guard there to make sure, like, they don't trust us. If you're so upset with the gods, why don't you just drive them off? Excuse me? They're gods! You don't just tell the gods to go away if they get inconvenient. I might not like them, but they're ours. If they weren't gods, though, you can bet we'd have gotten rid of them a long time ago. Nice place you got here. Thank you! I share it with Limbeck. He'll want to meet you. I'm sure he'll be delighted to see a visitor. We've never had one before. Limbeck? I take it that he's another dwarf? Of course he's a dwarf! What else would I be sharing my... Who else? What else would I be sharing my quarters with? Yes, what else? Are those his undergarments hanging on the wall? What? Oh, Yes! He never picks up after himself. I made that hook specifically so he'd keep his clothes off the floor, but I still have to do it for him. That silly Limbeck. Does that mean you're attached? Wink, wink. Sorry, blushes. Well, yes. Somebody's got to look after my Limbeck. He'd fall apart without me. This room doesn't look big enough for two. Maybe not two creatures as big as you, but I'll have you know that this is one of the most spacious rooms on Drevlin. We're lucky to have it. You must really like this Limbeck. I'm glad that I can take care of him. He's such a gump sometimes. He gets so involved in his work that he even forgets to eat. I have to bring him his food, and that's why I keep the bread and the marmalade handy. It's his favorite. Isn't that kind of a limited diet? Well, it's what he likes, and I have to make it perfectly. If there isn't enough marmalade, he calls it dry. If there's too much, he calls it messy. And if there's just the right amount, he kisses me. So it's all worth it in the end. That's why I can't let him make it himself. He always puts on far too much. Does he like these gods as much as you do? He doesn't quite dislike them. He doesn't quite believe in them. I think he thinks that these gods have been taking advantage of us. We've been serving them when we were meant to serve the Kixie Binzi. He says that we've been oppressed. She carefully mouths the obviously unfamiliar word. What does he do that keeps him so busy? Mostly he writes speeches. They're supposed to enlighten the masses or whatever. He keeps telling people that the pink gods aren't gods, and that he's seen the gods when they weren't glowing. Most dwarves don't believe him, but even I have a hard time, but I support him. He's my limback after all. This is so cute. Can we talk about something else? Alright. Nice place you've got here. Thank you! I share with Limbeck. He'll want to meet you. I think we already saw this before. Let's back up a second. I've enjoyed talking with you, but I'd like to explore this Kixie Winsy thing. Oh, certainly! Say hello to Limbeck if you get a chance. He's just in the next room. She immediately swings her gaze back to the gauges and studies them intently. It's totally oblivious to you. This must be the Kixie Winsy. Marmalade! We're actually going to have to make Limbeck marmalade. That's all amazing. A rusted cupboard hangs high on the wall. Perhaps that's the reason the dwarves don't make use of it. Marmalade. You take the jar of marmalade from the counter. Take a bread slice. Grab a slice of stale bread from the counter. Can I look at them? Marmalade. It's a sealed glass jar filled with golden marmalade like jelly. It's a slice of hard, dark bread. It's so stale that it feels like it could be used to pound nails. I wonder if that's a hint. A zinger control. The panels control the zingers outside the cave. Gauges indicate how much electricity the zingers have absorbed, and levers initiate the discharging process. Why did it use a contraction here? This isn't spoken. Levers. Pull. Jari exclaimed, "Don't touch those! You have to be 4 years. You have to have 4 years of training before you can even think about pulling a lever." She gives you a sullen look, then returns to staring at the gauges. Okay. Can't touch those while she's around. Here's a bed. Look at the bed. It's a simple cot. Open the bed. Can't open the bed. Sit on the bed. You drop down on the bed, rest a moment, and get up again. Make the bed. You short sheet the bed, but given Jari's height, it may not make any difference. Why did they let me do that? Put marmalade on the bed. You consider putting the jar of marmalade on the pillow as a gift for Jari to discover when she goes to bed, but then realize she probably wouldn't appreciate it. Put the bread slice on the bed. You consider... Okay. Alright. Alright. White shirt. Let's put the marmalade on the white shirt. Put the marmalade on the white shirt. The white shirt is already sweet enough. What? Can I take the shirt? I can. White shirt. Okay. Can I open the marmalade? You crack open the lid and are overwhelmed by the sickly sweet aroma that explodes from the jar. You quickly twist the lid closed again. This is very cool. There's an elbow pipe there. Take elbow pipe? No, not the room. The elbow pipe. You twist the pipe fitting back and forth until it pops out of the crack in the wall. Look at this. It's an elbow pipe fitting. Okay. Okay. You slab a large dollop of marmalade onto the bread. It sits in the center looking rather lonely. Okay. Alright. Alright. Papers and parchments are piled everywhere. In the middle is an intent but confused-looking dwarf. Upon your arrival, the dwarf looks up from the scribbling and gasps. My word! What are you? I'm a simple traveler, just visiting. You? You're not a god? No, you can't be. You're not glowing. You say you're a traveler? A traveler from where? Where are you going? Do you know the gods? What do you think of the Kixie Winsy? Limbeck continues to bombard you with a rush of questions without so much as pausing to breathe. Oh, I gotta make him go faster. Hold on, little one. Let me ask you some questions first. Limbeck smiles, removes his glasses, and wipes them on a dirty shirt sleeve. I'm very sorry. Sometimes my curiosity gets the better of me. I'll try to be patient. Please, go ahead. Ask me anything. Ever heard of the Sartan? The Sartan? Is that a place? I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. I'm looking for a piece of something. It's metal, hexagonal, and has a symbol on it. It's very old. Do you know where I might find it? I wish I could help, but I'm afraid I'm not familiar with anything like that. If it's very old, there's only one dwarf that might be able to tell you something. Old Waffle Rock Digger has been here forever. Waffle Rock... I'm using the wrong voice. Waffle Rock Digger? Do you think he'd help me find it? Limbeck looks down, wipes his glasses, and sighs. Old Grapple isn't very helpful in the best of moods. And lately, the section of the Kixie Winsey that he is responsible for is broken down. It's made him extremely sullen. He won't talk to anyone except in insults. What's being done to fix the Kixie Winsey? Normally, the Kixie Winsey automatically fixes itself. But when something breaks that isn't vital or necessary, it leaves the section unprepared. We don't know how to fix it, and Grapple refuses to leave it. He's been sitting there for weeks. Do you think he could be persuaded to help me out anyway? I don't think so. We tend to be a fairly stubborn people, and Grapple much more than most. If he doesn't want to be moved, he won't be moved. If he won't talk to you, no amount of persuasion will help. If I told him I was a god, would he help me out? What? What just happened? Are you serious? Hold on, everyone. I got a notification. Oh my god. Okay, thank you. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I got a notification, and now I've got to... Ah! Alright, 1 second. Why? Okay, 1 second, everyone. I gotta back out of this conversation so I can put it back into full screen. Stupid notification. Okay. Save. I haven't... So the problem here is I haven't figured out how to... if it gets knocked out of full screen, there's no way that I've found to put it back into full screen. Which is what just happened here. The notification knocked me out of full screen. Let me just see if that's here. Yeah, there's no options. There's just sound and yeah, there's just sound. So I have not figured out. Maybe it's Alt-Enter. Oh, Alt-Enter. Okay, that must be a DOSBox thing. Okay, that won't happen again then. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me find our way back to the conversation. We did this. Grapple hates the gods more than anyone. He remembers the days before the gods, when we worshipped the Mangers. He feels that the gods displaced them. I think if you told him you were a god, he would die before he uttered one word to steer you in the right direction. Where can I find this rock digger? Grapple sits in the same place every day, waiting for the Kixie Winsey to be repaired. Each day he sits there, and he gets more and more surly. Go north to the intersection and follow the left wall. That'll take you to him. How old is Grapple Rock Digger? He's been here for as long as anyone remembers. Long before I was born. He'll tell you he remembers when the Kixie Winsey was built. Well, that was, thousands of years ago. I think what he forgets he makes up. I love this little mustache animation he's doing here. Yeah, that looks good. Enough about this rock digger. What are you writing? He looks down at his parchment in frustration. Speeches. I have to convince my fellow dwarves that these gods aren't what they claim. They've oppressed us for too long. We must break the chains and take back our freedom. Limbeck drones on and on with the tired revolutionary rhetoric and then sighs. I'm just not very literate. I can't put up my ideas down on paper very well, but I'm determined. Why don't you ad-lib your speeches? Oh, I couldn't do that. Every idea must be perfectly worded. One misspoken word could have the opposite effect of what I'm trying to achieve. I only deliver my speeches after I'm entirely happy with them. Why don't your people believe you? I think I'm getting to them, one speech after another. I make progress, I believe. No one is happy with the gods, but it's a different matter convincing him that the gods aren't divine at all. How are they oppressing you? They moved in, told us where to work, and for how long. Our heritage tells us to care for the Kixie Winsey. Since the gods came, we haven't been able to do that. They make us use the Kixie Winsey to produce water for them. Parts of the great machine are breaking down, but unless the pot has something to do with water production, we're not even allowed to look at the problem. They tell us where to live. They've broken up families. They keep us from the sacred places like the control room. If they were gods, I would assume they had their reasons, but they aren't. They are just another race taking advantage of us. Where'd you get all these parchments? I gathered them from all over the Kixie Winsey. No one reads them. In fact, no one can. They're too old, so I write my speeches on the back of them. What makes you so sure the gods aren't what they claim? The gods aren't what they claim. Limbeck looks around and says in a hushed voice, keep this between us, but I've seen them without the glow. I discovered that it's artificially produced, like kombucha. It's not natural, eh? How do they make it? It's magic. According to some of the older dwarves, everyone used to be able to use magic. They've cast a spell to make themselves glow. How did you learn this? When the gods arrived, they dropped from the sky in a flying ship. After they moved in, I snuck aboard their ship. I actually saw one of them, not shining at all. He was moving his hands in some intricate motion over a bunch of little statues. When he was done, the statues glowed brighter. I must have gasped because he immediately looked over at me. I ran, and he never found me. But ever since, they've posted a guard just outside the ship so I can't approach. He was casting a spell. This is something we're going to have to do. We gotta see them do this. And the spell they know is how to make things glow. A flying ship? Yeah. One of the byproducts of the Kexi Windsy is water. For their own reasons, they pump the water in the ship and leave with it, only to return a few days later with new gods and an empty ship. They're guarding the ship now, huh? Ever since my excursion, they've placed one guard outside of their ship. Because the dwarves tend to be fairly nosy. Even when we're sneaking around, the gods put someone there who has very sensitive hearing. His ears can detect the slightest sound of movement out of the caves toward the ship. Consequently, no one's got anywhere near it. Isn't that enough to convince the other dwarves that they aren't gods? I haven't told them. It might go against their beliefs to the extent that they would just stop listening to me. I simply can't risk it, bro. The only way to convince them would be by removing the god's glow. Once my fellows have seen beyond the artificial shining, they'll rise up and cast them out. Makes a fist symbol and raises his fist in the air. I can't figure out how to do that, though. Let's talk about something else. Very well. Let's get back to talking about this place, shall we? Oh my god. This is another 30-minute episode and we haven't even gotten through a conversation. Okay. Let's take a break here. We'll come back to this. This is insane. This is a novel. Oh my god. It's so much. Alright, we'll save here. I gotta rest my voice. This, like, weed smoking hippie voice I'm giving, it was kind of harsh on my throat. I'm gonna take a short break. See y'all in a bit.